In round one here against Beardo, who was across the table from me, and I got a mulligan, unfortunately. Here, I got a keep. I got a 2-drop. I'm more likely to draw forests, and then once I draw another land, I have a Chief of the Foundry with my absolutely horrible hand. Opponent's playing black as well. I wonder if the language made it all the way to him. Highly doubt it. I will lead off with a swamp as well. What up, mirror match? Whoop whoop! Oh gosh. I wonder if the Titan got around. I don't know exactly where Beardo was. I know it wasn't directly next to me. Shambling Ghoul. Oh, I can play all my cards. That's exciting. I'll probably play the Timberpack Wolf into the Yavis Force Mage to try attacking with a 4/4. That seems to work. I don't know if my opponent's on defense or not yet. And rather I just have some power board. Because I'd like to be aggressive if possible. I do have 3 combat tricks in my deck, so we'll see how that goes. Opponent currently doesn't have second color, but is reading some bones. Alright. So you have a super clear shot with a 4/4. Opponent takes 6 damage. Yeah, there's a little bit of card advantage. Not gonna lie. We'll see how this goes. A bottom and a topper, eh? We'll have to wait on our meteorite for a wee while. It's fine, we don't need it for anything. But one more land and we're there. I forgot how meteorite costs 5, by the way. It doesn't really ramp or anything. It doesn't really fix any mana. But anyway, let's get the beats on. Let's beat it up. That sounds not appropriate. It's either sexual or just violence. Let's beat it up. Okay. I'm going to attack. You take it. Boom! And now a bunch of 2/2s that get held back by the Shambling Ghoul. Nice. Stuck in the waters, doing nothing. I don't know what my opponent's going to do. Oh my, it's blue. Aspiring Aeronaut. Can't win. Can't win. Just can't do it. I see my opponent does not attack, and that was accurate. Well, I'll be able to take a flyer out in one way, shape, or form. For the nows, yeah, I'll put the imp down. We'll be on dual defenses here. Everyone's just hanging out, chillaxing on defense. Remember, my Chief of the Foundry is literally just a 2/3 for 3. Does nothing. So let's see, what's my strategy now? Just hang out and play D until I can draw a relevant card and be patient. What an exciting game. I'll pretty much put the imp in front of anything. It's really there just to trade off and buy time. So if my opponent wants to use a spell or something on it, I mean, that's really the most I can hope for it. I'm not super worried about all of this. I'd love to have a combat trick in hand, so things like double blocks would be okay. Like if my opponent, for some reason, wanted to attack and I could double block and feel pretty okay about it. However, if my opponent does double block without a combat trick and just the way the board sits now, I'm happy just to take 2 and then I can crack back for more since I win the race of Shambling Goblin versus Timberpack Wolf and Yavis Force Mage. Okay, opponent is also down just to chillax. I guess this is a card I kind of wanted to draw. Oh my gosh. What do I do? I like the idea of playing the meteorite in order to take out one of the flyers, but that's not really relevant right now. The only reason why I like that is because it uses all my mana and it allows me that if I draw one of my 6 drops, I can play it. 2/3's not doing anything. Yeah, I'll do it. It's not fantastic, but again, it uses my mana. We'll kill this home slice and just hang out. I like that I can still activate my imp thanks to meteorite. I don't anticipate that needing to happen, but it's good to know. Opponent has 6 cards in hand. Is chillaxing also. I'm not too sure on what. 6 cards in hand, all the mana in the world, and just like chilled. Ring Warden out. Oh, they're all double blue? Seems odd to me, but could be. Alright, Imp, you're gonna do a bunch of work. Hey! This is the exact scenario of why I wanted to play my Meteorite. So that's called luck. I'm not blocking with my Imp next turn, so I'll go ahead and attack. See if my opponent wants to get fancy here. And even if, I mean, my opponent does, like, I'll still pay 1 to make the trade. I just didn't think my opponent would. And I'd still have, like, follow-up plays when I have to, like, waste all my mana. So I didn't mind taking that risk here. And then, yeah, that's my turn. But it probably has a big old removal spell, take out my Sentinel. In black, that's just, like, a given, I guess. But had to go for it. Yep, there it is. I get bashed for a bunch. There's an argument to have not played that knowing my opponent's colors, but Claustrophobia is also one of the common removal spells that it could have been, and then Sentinel still has its value. But with how little I was doing, I don't think that was correct. I think I needed to try to play the 6-drop. Could be wrong. Yay, I like having Might of the Masses here. This will be fun. It means I do want to get my Foundry down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The thing is, if I want to leave up Might and my Death Touch, I can't play the Brawler's Plate right now, so I'll wait. Yeah, maybe because I have the Brawler's Plate, I might be able to just play the long game. The thing is, my opponent has so many cards. So many cards. Now what you doing? What's your next play? Ooh, Eye Blight Massacre. Huh, well I gotta keep my elf. I gotta keep my chief. That's about it. This Might of the Masses gets way worse now. At least the Thopter goes away. But now my Death Touch Flyer's MIA. Opponent can't attack with this the Shamley Gauntlet at least. Thing is, I'm going to have to start putting some pressure on because my opponent's a Flyer. I have no way to deal with it now. I guess I have the Aerial Volley main deck. I forget that sometimes because I don't normally main deck that. So I could draw that and kill the Owl. What's my opponent contemplating? Here. Here. I could pay 7 mana just to make a 4/4 Trampler. And 2 cards. Actually 10 mana, because of the cost 3 to actually make the Force Mage. Probably will end up putting it on the Chief, because why not? No, I want to put it on the Avis Force Mage. I want to keep the Chief back for blocks. I'm behind on this race, but I do want to put some pressure on my opponent. What's my opponent thinking about? Thinking so hard right now. Side note, the Eye Blight Massacre wasn't particularly like insane for my opponent. It was a 2-for-1, but I got the Thopter off. I didn't think it was right for my opponent to do, because my opponent needed to get the Fetid out and probably didn't have another removal spell. I was just like, yeah, it's worth it. I'm not like losing cards, and this allows me to like dominate the air, so that's fine. I'm just pointing out it could have been way worse for me. And my opponent plays more air. More air creature. Okay, what's going on now? Well, I get to equip up my Yaeva's Force Mage and attack 4/4. My opponent wants to be silly. My opponent can't block, so yeah. I mean, at this point, I just need to start putting some pressure on. Oh, how did I miss? I'm still doing this. For some reason, I was off on my counting on what my mana situation was. I'm still going to do it, like I said. Since even though I lose this race, all I can do is try to race because I can't interact with the Flyers here. So I'll try to not fall super far behind. But I'm taking 3, 4, 5. You can see like removal spell 6, 7, 8, and like dead next turn. But you know, my opponent can go like Claustrophobia, smash while I'm tapped out. Might be able to sneak a win with this Might of the Masses, but I don't. It's only like +2/+2, so Yep, there it is. There it goes. Here comes the pain. It'll be so much pain. Just so much pain here. I think the only thing that stabilized me would be the spider, which I don't have. I'm dead in the air anyway. So let's attack and see if my opponent gets silly. I can't imagine my opponent would. It just puts me in a place where I, quote-unquote, might win. I can't think of anything in this format that would actually allow me to, so I'm pretty dead here. Da-da-da-da-da. Alright, let's sideboard it up. Well, I want that second aerial volley for shizzle. Don't really care about this caustic caterpillar. I've only saw one claustrophobia. If my opponent was blue-white, then I would probably go for it. What else am I thinking about? This guy will be good. How else do I deal with flyers? Imp. Yeah, I only have 2 creatures that interact with flyers, so that volley is super key here. I don't think Mantle of Web is going to be good against my opponent's removal suite. We already saw a couple already. Yeah, that's it. Remember, my sideboard sucks anyway. I mean, my deck sucks. So, Beggars can't be the choosers. Do I want... I think the Brawler's Plate's the weakest card here. Costs so much. Yeah, so we'll cut that guy first and foremost. Submitting. Do I want to play first? Yeah, I do. I really do. 3. Keeping. My deck sucks. Look at these cards. Oh my gosh. The only way this video is going to be interesting to watch is if I can somehow win. Is like finding ways to win with such a pile of what is known as the crapperoo. That's an actual term, crapperoo. Alright, we saw Unholy Hunger, Claustrophobia, Eye Blight. All that fun stuff. Hello, 2-3. Alright, so I'm playing my Orchard Spirit. So I can attempt to get in there. It's nice to have Yavis Force Mage, which is an elf. Doesn't die to the Eye Blight Massacre. I want to be paying attention to that card. Aerial Volley takes out a flyer. That makes me hip-hop happy. Bashing in. Do it. You can do it. No, not follow-up. Don't follow up. Especially not with a Water Courser. I think I'd rather just have the 2-3, actually. My Orchard Spirit already gets in for 2. I don't really need the extra 4, so we'll bust a move here. I'll F6, keeping Aerial Volley up in case a flyer comes down next turn. I'm taking hits from the Water Courser next turn, but I get a 2-3s get to just chillax together, so that's nice. Did I F6 already? Yeah, we're in on my opponent. Let's go op. The OP opponent. Original player. Yes, I would like to attack. Silvoot play. You're letting me. Yeah. I do not want to F6 now. So I can use Aerial Volley as needed. Holy moly, read the bones. Stop getting cards, friendo. Maybe my opponent's stuck on land? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Could be. If my opponent attacks with Water Courser, do I block? That is a good question. Are you going to give me that choice? You are going to give me that choice. Yeah, Water Courser is better than my Chief. I mean, mine's a 2-3 and that's it. Water Courser's a 2-3 with flexibility. So, yeah. It's like the best trade I'm going to get. It's really just did I want to like stay back on defense, and at this point I'm kind of the aggressor, which is silly, but it's true. Here I will play Force Mage, hit for 4, and Sidearm, instead of leaving Aerial Volley up. Did I cast you? Oh. So sorry. So sorry. So there's that. Here's this. And boink. Take it. Eyeblight Massacre doesn't do a whole lot against me at the moment. We could put the sidearm on the Orchard Spirit next turn, and then it definitely does nothing. Opponent wants to trade off 2 points. Fine. Hopefully the bird comes down here at 5 mana, and then we can just aerial volley and smash. Ringwarden Owl. Play it. Play the Ringwarden Owl. I say smash. It's for 5. That's pretty good. If I'm only doing 2, I'm still at least doing 2. So my Ringwarden Owl? Yes! Yes! That's good, yeah. It's a good card for you have. Yes, only 3. Die. Don't think it fully matters. 1, 2. Cool beans. I assume my opponent has way more powerful spells to stabilize it. My opponent's only at 7, but it's still like the best. That's not what I was thinking of. That's kind of what I was thinking of. Okay, so they can block, but then it's going to be a chump, so I'm okay with that. The Meteorite's doing nothing here. Don't really need to attack with the 2/2. Ooh, or do I? Dude, if the Orchard Spirit doesn't get... Now, I'm just going to attack with the Orchard Spirit. I assume there's going to be a chump. I could not, and my opponent's tapped out. I could, like, sneak a win in. If it's just 3, that's fine. I'll just switch the Yavis Force Mage over. I'll switch the Veteran Sidearm over to Yavis Force Mage. Play conservatively. I don't want to... I'm going to use a Titan Strength for a win. I don't want to use it just to, like... Cool. We got it. Opponent didn't block, so we'll just take the win there. I was going to say, I'm not going to use a Titan Strength to attack in, and then, Titan Strength with the Guardian... What's it called? Guardian of Meletus? Yeah. Okay. Well, we got there. That's exciting. Don't want this Caterpillar now that I've seen a Guardian and we know Claustrophobia is there. I mean, my deck's so weak that this might actually be worth it. Normally I just like, no, there's not enough to bring in that kind of sideboard, but if you look at how just shitty my deck is, this could easily be a better card. Like, what's Eyeblight Assassin doing? We saw a Thopter. The 2/3 is actually important. These guys are horrible. And Tugo Husk is fine. Or 4. Or bigger drops are okay. The 2/2's whatever. Opponent's on D. Yeah, I think it's worth bringing the Caustic Caterpillar in. Meteorite does seem bad against my opponent. I don't know what to cut here. A land? Let's cut a land. Remember, we're playing 18 lands. I actually have a decently low curve. Yeah, I'm cutting a land. Bring in my Caustic Caterpillar. Remember, I was playing the 18th land just because it felt like there wasn't enough strong cards, and like I'd rather just have like a land than like shitty sideboard card. But seeing that like the Caustic Caterpillar has at least a couple targets means like it's worth playing. We got to keep because we have all of our land. See if my opponent mulligans. Pull does. I'm keeping. My opponent's deck isn't fast. I don't need the 2-drops, and these 3s are fine. Wait, Underworld's actually decent. Start Forest for now. Not that it matters in these colors. It's like white and red are the only ones that you really like if you're playing cards that you need to be caring about on what you play first. White because there's a lot, like there's a few double white 2-drops, and then red because there's the Fiery Impulse. Passing the turn. Nothing for me to do. This Eyeblight Assassin will take the Screeching Scob out, I presume. It's also an elf, which is nice to know, against the Eyeblight. Opponent has nothing at 3. Is this a counterspell? I'm very okay if you want to counter my Eyeblight Assassin. No, opponent's just, of course, did Mole, so a little bit weak on the cards there. On the draw. I mean on the play. Opponent continues to be stuck. We continue not to be. What am I playing here? Nantuko Husk plus keeping Might of the Masses available? Sure. And Aerial Volley available. Oh my gosh, I'm bashing in. It's the bash. The bashes are real. Am I going to be able to steal this match due to my opponent's poor draw and mulliganing? Oh, Tower Geist, that's a good card. I would not be bummed to draw a land here in order to do Meteorite, kill Tower Geist. That way I'm guaranteed to play Sentinel shortly. But I have a bunch of other spells to help with that. If I don't draw a land, which spell would I rather use? I think the Weight. It's the most mana. Ooh, man, I would have loved a land right there. It kills the same thing a Meteorite kills, but it has a little more versatility because then if another thing doesn't kill, then we're good on it. Aerial Volley I want to keep up. It's just a way better card at instant and for the flyers. So yeah, for now we'll just do this. F6, attack for 4. If a land and then Ring Warden Owl does come down and I draw a land, I have to decide, do I want to Aerial Volley or progress my board? I like the idea while my opponent has a stumble after mulliganing once. I like just keeping the pressure up. The thing is, an Aerial Volley does take my entire turn, so I don't think that's right, actually. I'm probably going to play, I think Sentinel. It's a Lightning Rod for removal, and then Sky Snare Smiter can... No, actually, I think the Spider I'll bring out first. Again, this is all assuming I draw a land, and it'll be like in, like, you know, a turn or two. Opponent might still be stuck here. I could have played my Archered Spirit first in case, like, there's a reason I might need a sack for Nantuko Husk. I just don't see that happening. My opponent is off of the Eyeblight Massacre because it's 2 swamps, so I don't mind running into it with the Orchard Spirit. Also Languish. My opponent has the Languish, but I doubt it made him its way all the way over. So I don't mind playing that into an open board. Anchor to the Ether. Okay. Bummer I don't draw a land, but my opponent... I mean, I'm still getting cards in my opponent's hand. My opponent's just trying to stay alive. Oh, looks like there's some... Oh, no. Yeah. Do nothing cards. Go for it. I'm playing a bunch of those. That means I can just play early on here. Do this. Do an F6 and attack for 4. We have lethal on board with some, you know, very minor backup. I can cast one of my spells next turn and that's it. What is it? A Water Courser. Alright, well, Might of the Masses will help get through that. So let's just win? Not necessarily on the spot. If my opponent equips up, then we win. Because 2 creatures getting through with the Might of the Masses is a win. My opponent smartly chooses not to do that. I'm not going to go for a win here with Might of the Masses, because one thing my opponent could have to win the game and didn't equip, so it could be Disperse, and then I get, not to say blown out, I'm so far ahead, but still, it's like, that's a thing. I'll just attack with all. My opponent can, is going to have to, like, block the Nantuko Husk, so they're going to trade. Probably what I do is just let the trade, or let him eat the Nantuko Husk. And then I play the Meteorite to finish off the Water Courser and just get a creature off the tail. And that sets me up for my 6 drops next turn. Because, yeah, I want to do the 4 points of damage here. And then we got 2 lethal creatures. Here comes the swamp. Still, without double swamp, the cards I'm scared of can't be cast. I even can aerial volley or might of the masses in response to, like, let's say there's a what's it called? Reeve Soul. That's the power 3 or less removal spell in black. I can use might just to save a dude, which is worth it considering it's lethal. So this isn't it. Deadbridge Shaman. Okay, still dead on board. Still happy about that. So I'll go ahead and attack, keeping this land here. What do you have at 3? You got anything? Do you have anything? Do I win? I win. Alright, opponent's GGing. On to the next round.